What's up, guys? I'm Devin, your friendly neighborhood board gamer, and this is Devin Talks Tabletop, a YouTube series where the games are all made up and what I say doesn't matter. That was pretty clean. That was somewhat smooth. I'm trying to combine Spider-Man and Whose Line Is It Anyway? So we'll see if it works. Let me know if it works as an intro. I'm curious about it. This is the Games I Got series. And I have Black Rose Wars, Black Rose Wars, Black Rose Wars, Black Rose Wars, Black Rose Wars. This is a fantastic game that is hard to table for several reasons. I will get into them with you. First off, what is it? Timestamp. Black Rose Wars is a dueling mage skirmish game that is like if Hogwarts was a battleground and if all of the mages were fighting each other after they left their dormitories. You are mages in this lodge, and the Black Rose throne room, the power of the Black Rose is up for grabs, and you guys are trying to complete quests. You are trying to sling spells at each other, and you are trying to knock each other out, getting points whenever you do, and then also getting points when you complete quests specific to tasks that you're doing within the world. All of that time, though, the Black Rose is also scoring points. It may not score them as rapidly as you, or it might score them faster than you. And you have to beat the Black Rose if you want to earn, the glory of deserving it. If the Black Rose beats all of you, then why should it, deign to give you its power? You have to be worthy. And I think one of the reasons why this is so difficult to table is because Ludus Magnus Studio, the people who created it, did not do the best job in giving an accessible experience. Number one, the best thing that you could have in this game is a player aid, which it does not come, but there is a BGG player aid available that you can get. And I highly recommend that you do because it was a pretty transformative in my teaching experience. I tried to teach this game to Alex, Jesse, and Shira, and it was not fun until it was fun, until it was very fun, but it took a little bit to get there, too long for what you want new players to a game to experience. It didn't get to the point until until we were slinging spells and Alex threw a spell and Shira redirected it and she redirected it at me and it set off a trap that I had set. And then it ended up rebounding the redirect that she had sent from my trap to Jesse, or it was something along those lines. I think even it might have been the person who originally slung the spell is the one that got hurt. And it was just this combination and interaction between almost all of the players at the table where you're like, wow, there's something special here. So it's a skirmish and strategy board game set in a fantastical universe with magic and spells and sorcerers and wizards and sorceresses and witches, and it's magic. It's a lot of fun. It's just hard to grok or understand for new players. That was a long-winded, what is it? Timestamp. Why do I have it? I have it because I went to Cleveland, and because the Rebirth campaign was coming out, I volunteered. I think Jesse and Alex needed to do coverage on it, and I volunteered to read the rules and be the one to teach it. And so as I was reading the rules for it, I realized, wow, this is a game that sounds really cool. And I was excited to teach it. I was excited to play it. And even though we had several hurdles along the way and a few hiccups, I eventually found the player aids that I had printed off, used those. Those helped immensely. And we played until we kind of understood it. And we realized the process. Everybody felt okay. And then we restarted. And that second game was a lot of fun. we enjoyed it thoroughly. And I mean, I think it sold Jesse on the game. I don't know if they've got rid of the complete game or they just got rid of the Seder box. But I purchased it after I left that visit. I purchased the Seder box, which I no longer have. And I got almost everything except for a couple of the other expansions. But I have the base game now. So that's why I have it, is I taught it to them, and I liked it so much I bought it for myself. When did I get it? Sometime last year in 2020. I don't remember. I think I went up in like April and August. And then I went up in December before PAX. But it wasn't the December visit. It was either the April or August visit. And I bought it after that visit. So I don't remember which one it was. It was sometime in the middle of 2020 is when I bought this. What is it? Why I have it? When did I get it? Timestamp. What do I like about it? This game is a lot of fun. You have one of 4 different mages. They're kind of stuck in there, which I think is good. That means they're safer. So you're one of those 4 different mages, and you are trying to get the Black Rose to love you, appreciate you. And so in order to do that, you need to defeat the other mages, and you need to complete quests. And along the way, we've had stuff move around. Oh no. Along the way, you will have these, oh gosh, what are they called? What are they called? Not enchantments. I can't remember what they're called. Anyways, you have monsters that you can summon to help just attack other people. You also have the cool thing about this, which is I haven't shown yet. The thing that I like the most about this game is the insane amount of cards you have. The cards are really the core of this, because what you do on your turn is you set up a quick spell and you set up spells in an order of 1, 2, 3. And the quick spell, you can cast that whenever you want. But the other spells, 1, 2, 3, have to be activated in order. And maybe you'll burn one if you don't like it, but you have to go left to right, 1, 2, 3. And so it's this it's this chaining system of trying to figure out the chronology of the fight. You're like, man, do I bring out this monster at the beginning and hope that it has the chance to attack at the end? Or do I set up a trap first? Or do I set up a protective spell first? What order do I do this in? And, do I do something that allows me, like, do I try to move first or do I try to attack first? And everything you do, because you have physical actions like moving and punching and activating rooms, but then you also have your spells. And so it's this puzzle of trying to figure out, okay, what order do I want to organize my turn in? Like, how do I want my round to look like? Do I want to be aggressive and then defensive? Do I want to be defensive then aggressive? Do I want to mix it up? And so the combination of those ordered spells, which I'll show you the physical to give you a sense of what I'm talking about. This is a player board. So you've got your quick spell here, which you can activate alongside any of your standard spells or with physical actions. Then you've got your 3 standard spells, and these are the ones that have to go in order. So say you could do your first spell and your quick spell at the same time. Or you could do a standard spell and maybe a physical action, then a standard spell and a physical action, and then at the end of your turn you could do a quick spell and another spell. Or you could do a quick spell and physical action. It's figuring out the right order to do that in is the issue. But what am I talking about? What do I like about it? All the cards. The Seder box, which I no longer have, gives you an insane amount of cards. But it already has an insane amount of cards. There's like 11, in the base game, there's like 11 schools of magic. Divination, conjuration, abjuration, destruction, illusion, necromancy. All of those different schools, they all have their own decks. And in the beginning of the game, it's a little bit of a card drafting deck builder where you craft your hand. You craft your grimoire or tome of magic that you get to use throughout the game. So you might have half necromancy, half destruction. Or you could have a smattering of divination, conjuration, and illusion. Whatever setup you want, that's really what you get throughout the game. You can add in other cards from like the Forgotten Spells deck and other stuff throughout the game, but it's really you get to choose the combination of cards that you play, and that is going to determine the style of play that you have. Maybe you have a little bit more of a, you sneaky and you set up mirages of yourself, or you set up traps. All of that stuff is done somewhat at the beginning with the schools that you pick, and then also in the way that you combine them. And interesting enough, similar to Gloomhaven, which I just finished talking about, Gloomhaven has cards which top and bottom, and you pick which one you activate. Same thing in Black Rose Wars, except you don't have to do the top of one and the bottom of another. Whatever cards you have has a top activation and a bottom activation, and you just choose which one of those you want to be the main activation. And so you'll rotate it to that side to use either the top half or the bottom half. And so the card play in this is a lot of fun. And then the interaction that you get with the players is additionally part of the experience. So the card play and the different schools of magic that you can be, adhering to with your character, all of that is what really creates a special experience in Black Rose Wars for me. I think that goes like that. Yep. So here's what I did. And here's the other thing I like about it. I got rid of the Seder box, but it's going to take a while. It's going to take a little bit. There we go. It finally happened. Let me do a timestamp just in the middle of this. Timestamp. The thing I did in here is I took the Seder box and I got the card replacements. The Seder box has a bunch of extra content. It's got extra characters. It's got extra monsters. It's got evocations. That's what they're called. I think they're called evocations. So it's got extra, evocations. It's got extra people. It's got a ton of content, just an insane amount. But what it also has is it reprints all of the cards for the base game. Just all of them. Like I recycled all of the cards for this after I replaced them because I didn't have anything else to do with them. And it reprints or it relabels a lot of cards and uses better terminology and tries to have a more consistent language throughout the game, which I'm excited to see how that may help accessibility for new players. So I'm excited that I kind of upgraded the core box, and I think really the core box is all I need. Like there's so much game in here that I kept the Chronos expansion, but I got rid of the Seder box. I sold it off, and I traded it actually for Gia, Legends of Adrift system, which I was super excited about. So I'm ready to jump in and try that out. But I like everything that this promises, and I think once you have players that understand the system and don't feel apprehensive about onboarding all of the rules, I think it's so much fun. It was really satisfying gameplay that we had once we figured out how to play. Will it leave? I don't want it to. I think that getting rid of the Seder box made it less likely that this would leave. The Seder box felt like a weight on my shoulders. It felt like I had so much content that I could jump into for this that it made me reticent to even play. But the fact that I got rid of that now feels like I just have this base game, and now I've got the new cards for it, and I'm just excited. Yeah, I'm just excited that I have the ability to jump back into this, and I don't have this pressure of, oh man, I've got all this stuff for it. Shouldn't I explore that? No, I got rid of it. And I got a game out of it that I'm excited about that is a somewhat hard to get game, except for the reprint that they did when they did Iridia. But minus that, it's a hard to get game. So yeah, I don't think I'll get rid of it. I want to play this. I want to share this with someone here in Arkansas so bad. Like I want to just get a 4-player game of this going. I do feel it's maybe a little bit limited at player count. I don't know how I'd feel about it at 2 players. 3 might be okay, but 4 was just a lot of fun. I kind of just want to play it at 4 again. So I don't think it will leave. And I think it has a better chance of staying because I got rid of the Seder box. Would you like it? Depends on the game you like. I think that it also depends on how you experience games. If you're the kind of person who frustrating rules will ruin a experience for you, like ruin a gameplay session, then I don't think that you'll like this. It's a little bit finicky to grasp and to appreciate. But if you value the experience over some of the hurdles that you have to jump, then this could be something really special. I think it's a lot of fun. And I'm okay with a little bit of discomfort in terms of learning rules because I learn the rules to almost everything I play. There are very few games that people teach me. I'm almost always the one teaching other people. And so it doesn't bother me to have like some rules hiccups because that's just how it is. Like, you know, if I play a game for the first time before I teach somebody and I'm just playing it myself, I'm going to have rules hiccups and I make mistakes. So I'm okay with that. But this could go either way. I think this is a game that's going to be polarizing in terms of the intensity with which people either like it or dislike it. You're either really not going to like it or you're really going to like it. I don't think there's going to be a lot of middle ground. Timestamp. Rating. I think this is an 8.5 for me. I think it could drop down to either an 8 or a 7.5 over time. But I think it could also increase to a 9 if I really continue to appreciate the experience. If I have as good of a game as we had that second game, and if I have that every time I play this could jump up to a 9. Or it could drop down if I feel like it stumbles and falters in subsequent plays. Then it could drop. But right now I feel like it's like an 8.5, which in terms of my collection is a really solid score. Timestamp. Oh wait, I did Would You Like It? I did rating. I'm not doing thumbnails right now because I'm just doing thumbnails without me in them. So I think that's it. All right. Burning Daylight. Gotta keep going through this. Timestamp. Black Rose Wars. Games I got. Things to do. People to see. Games to talk about.